Response video to Mathfails. He talked about the free will determinism stuff and used the magic crazy words spontaneous and choice. So I must respond. Nothing else I can do. He sets up this false dichotomy between the right answer and the wrong answer. It's like somehow those are both wrong answers and the right answer is some kind of fence in the middle bullshit. So yes, part of us is determined, but part of us is somehow spontaneous and freely choosing something, whatever that means. We have the freedom to what? Subconsciously do something completely inconsistent with how we have been programmed. I don't think so. So anyway, it's spontaneous. Right there, that word, we've got to blow it up, got to destroy it. You only can use it if you are explicit in explaining that it's an illusion of spontaneous, that there's no such thing as truly spontaneous anywhere in the stupid universe as far as we know. We haven't found anything spontaneous. So it's a bullshit word. It's a word from an ignorant past where we couldn't make the calculations, where we couldn't figure out that something was going on, and that's why there was a lightning bolt. And the lightning bolt didn't come from nothing, it came from a process. It was essentially programmed to happen. So, and even with quarks and norks and borks and flurks, it doesn't matter how many subatomic particles you find, there's no evidence in those particles of anything called spontaneous. What there's evidence of is our inability to measure the particles, and even the slight measurements we do have indicate that they will behave in a probabilistic manner, reliable, always the same. The outcome's always going to be the same over time, over experimentation. There's no, you roll the dice one day and they're square, you roll them the next day and they're round kind of bullshit. It just doesn't happen. All right, so that word's gone. Now, choice. This is a bizarre concept. He said, I choose. No, you don't. Okay? A bunch of reflexes inside your subconscious makes a decision, okay, based on weighing a circumstance. Just like a piece of software processes a circumstance and then does a lot of, well, if, but, if, when, if, hows, ifs, and has results to all those ifs. And your brain does the same calculation. And so, yes, if you have, through your life experience, you acquire themes inside of your conscious, your subconscious, and those themes own you. So, yeah, if you have this idea of taking care of yourself, and it'll sit back there, and it's part of your mental routine in there. It's one of the trains riding the old thought track. And then you have some lazy compulsion. That might also be running around in there. Maybe a little drinking compulsion, and they're all going to compete. And in your subconscious. And through those trains running, some will end up becoming dominant. Maybe it'll take 10 tries before a certain train will rise to the top or be the dominant train. But it can happen, and it'll happen subconsciously though. There's no consciousness that has any substance. Consciousness, what you're aware of, is just a plane. It's just a little thin veneer that the subconscious throws crap through. Whoa! I just threw a spitball at the camera. So you don't get to be aware of what your subconscious is calculating or what it's processing or how it's processing. It just gives you the fucking answer. Your will flies out of subconscious. It doesn't get built in your consciousness. It's built in your subconscious, and all you get is the end product, which might be indecision, and then 4 seconds later you'll be a little less indecisive, and then maybe 7 seconds later the decision will be made to jump in the pool, or whatever the proper analogy is, as I'm going to go jump in a pool now. But it'll be quite predictable. Everything that's going to happen there at Pool Land is inevitable. I can't stop any of it. The wheels are already turning in the subconscious. The disposition is already established through my life experience and the disposition I was born with. and that chemistry and physics is going to do its thing, and there's no spontaneous freedom. Any of those concepts are just bullshit words that ignorant people invented to describe things they didn't understand. It just doesn't exist. The word will is just saying who won the subconscious decision. That becomes your action. And free, the word free, as I think we've picked it apart over the last 2 years, it doesn't have any meaning at all. It's a stupid word. The more important space is, like in the terms of political freedom, would be first you fulfill responsibilities and then everything left over is free. That's your freedom. But freedom has no meaning outside of the white space that contains it. The white space is where the substances, in that case, the words that are contrary to freedom, are the important words. So, and it's the same with our will. It's the subconscious programming, the reflexes that are doing the work. The will is an illusion. And certainly any notion that there's some you making decisions is bullshit. No, there's a bunch of reflexes to every word, every concept your brain reacts to. Every time I see a tree, I have a reflexive reaction. A rock, I have a reflexive reaction inside my brain that calculates the significance of that rock in combination with the current circumstance. So if the current circumstance is there's a bear coming down the path, well then rock's going to mean, hey, pick it up, it's a weapon. And in another circumstance, it'll be something else. But there will be a fucking reaction, a calculation, a processing through the software that we're made out of. And it's not going to have anything to do with something you call me doing anything you call choosing. You're not going to do any choosing. There's going to be a calculated outcome that's no more a choice than what software in a computer does. We don't say it has a free will. We don't say it makes choices. No, it calculates, permutates. It disposes of information. It processes. Come on, it's got to be another word. We got to expand the vocabulary a little. Maybe search for some better words to describe what we're doing. But we're not choosing. That's not the proper word. And we're certainly not spontaneousing. That word is completely out of bounds.